Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful 2,000-year-old piece of wisdom that honestly feels more relevant now than ever before. It's a pretty simple idea about what it means to do good, but it asks a question that might just completely change how you think about generosity.
Okay, so picture this. You just did something good. Maybe you donated to a cause you're passionate about, or you spent your weekend volunteering somewhere. You helped a neighbor who was in a tough spot. You get that warm glow, that feeling that you've made a little bit of a positive difference in the world.
So what's your very first instinct in that moment? In the world we live in, that impulse is almost always to share it, right? Post a photo, write a quick status update, let everyone know. And that feels totally natural. You want to share the good news, maybe even inspire some other people. But what if that instinct is worth taking a second look at?
And this is where that ancient advice comes in. This line is a direct challenge to our impulse to share. Now, it's not saying, hey, don't do good things. Not at all. It's saying, be careful about why you're doing them. The key phrase is right there, to be seen by them. It's basically a warning against turning a good deed into a performance.
And here's what the text says happens if you do. You don't have to read this as some kind of punishment. It's actually way more subtle. It's suggesting that when your main motivation is getting that public applause, well, the applause is your reward. You got exactly what you were looking for, but you might have just missed out on something way deeper, something much more valuable.
So this idea breaks down giving into two completely different paths. On one side, you have giving as this big public show, announced with trumpets. And on the other side, you have this really radical idea of private giving, where it's done so quietly that the entire focus is on the act of helping, not on the person who's doing the helping. Let's dig into the metaphors here because they're pretty amazing.
Announce it with trumpets. I mean, what a great image, right? Back then, this could be literal, making a huge, loud deal about how generous you are. Today's trumpets, well, that could be the perfectly filtered Instagram post about your volunteer trip, or that viral tweet about your donation. The instrument has changed, but the tune is exactly the same. Hey everyone, look at me. Look how good I am. And this is the alternative. What a brilliant way to put it. The idea is a generosity so pure, so completely unself-conscious that it's almost like one part of your own body isn't trying to get credit from the other. It's all about separating the act of giving from your own ego. The focus shifts entirely to the need that's being met, not the person meeting.
So that brings us to these two very different kinds of rewards. The first one, public praise, it's instant, it feels good, but it's also temporary, like likes on a social media post that just disappeared down the feed. When you get that praise, the text says your reward has been received in full. Basically, the transaction's over. But that second reward, that one's different. It's a lasting, internal validation that you can only get from knowing you did something for the right reasons.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? One path gives you a quick, short-term ego boost. The other one helps build long-term character. One is all about managing your public image. The other is about building your private integrity. And the choice between them, this text suggests, is what defines the real value of what you did.
Okay, so why on earth does this 2,000-year-old advice feel so urgent right now? I mean, we live in an age of personal branding, where we're all kind of encouraged to perform our lives online. This idea pushes back hard against all that noise. It asks us to find a quieter, maybe more authentic way of being good in the world.
And here's why that's so powerful. When you practice giving in secret, it forces you to ask that tough question. Am I really doing this for them, or is this for me? It automatically puts the focus on the act itself, not your ego. It's basically the ultimate defense against virtue signaling, which is really just our modern-day version of blowing trumpets. And along the way, it helps you cultivate genuine humility and build a kind of character that's solid, that's authentic, that doesn't need likes or applause to know its worth.
Which leaves us with this final thought. In a world that constantly tells us, if you didn't post it, it never really happened, this ancient wisdom offers a pretty profound challenge. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the most powerful, the most character-shaping, and the most genuine acts of goodness are the ones that nobody else ever sees. Definitely something to think about.